Good morning from gray San Diego. I don't know exactly what to do today. I was gonna head north and try and get some more drone footage, but it's gray, so everything will be flat. And I'm gonna go to the horse show, but people don't ride till 10, so I thought, maybe I'll just go up and hang out at the barn and do some work. And then at like 5 after 7, my gym texted and was like, hey, you got into the class that you weren't able to get into. So now I'm like, ugh. I had planned on not going because I couldn't get into class. That was an okay excuse, but now all of a sudden I can go. So it's kind of reconverting your mojo to be like, I should go. I should go do things that are good for me, because I've been feeling a little like I haven't been running. My running partner's been off, and we don't have a big run coming up, so I haven't been that inclined to run as much. Also, just because I've been going to the show early, and that's been really good, but I'm feeling a little soft in parts, you know, just like, because I haven't been saying no to burritos, and I've definitely been snacking on peanut butter. Yeah, maybe going to the gym would be good. I definitely went down a rabbit hole last night of just sad things, like, see, I got on Facebook. It's bad. If I could give one piece of advice today, it would be, get off Facebook. It's never gonna make you feel good. I'd never come away from Facebook feeling like, I'm really glad I did that. It keeps suggesting that she might be somebody I'd want to be friends with. And I'm like, I know, I'm married to her. Like, I used to really want to be friends with her. And she dropped me. When you go down that rabbit hole of Facebook and websites, and to a lesser extent Instagram, you either see things you don't want, or you remember things that you'd forgotten that you don't want to remember, or little things sort of prick up your ears and you're like, hey, why does it say he's training out of San Marcos as opposed to, you know, where he actually is? Is that a change, or did he forget to update something? I think it's a mistake to put any energy into researching. I'll be back. All right, well, I thought better of it, and I'm going to the gym because it'll make me feel better. Even though I'd rather just go up to the barn. Yeah, I think I should do some me work. So yeah, I'll be back. It's tricky because there's work I need to do on the house too. I should do more touch-up painting and fixing stuff, but I'm alone, and I resent being alone. And I resent her not doing anything to help get the house ready. She's so hot to trot to sell the house, but she's doing absolutely nothing. She'd probably blame me for being like, oh, well, you didn't return my text. She has a key to the house. She paid for a locksmith to come in and do that. She could come in and get her stuff, do anything. You know, she could exercise will in any way. No, I don't know what her recovery from surgery is like, but she's not. So I resent that I have to do all this stuff to sell a place I don't want to sell, to go through a divorce I don't want to go through, to go to mediation, have it get ugly, which I don't want, for a future I'm not yet excited about. I was excited to go out for drinks with people. I'm still excited to go out for drinks, but I found out all the people are like married. I was thinking that this morning. I was like, why are all the good ones married? And then I thought, I used to be in that camp. I used to be a good one that was married, and now I'm not. But I'm one of the good ones. Why? Maybe I just haven't found the right pool of people to realize I'm a good one. Or maybe people can just tell. Maybe I'm like giving off this like broken energy. I'm kind of fun to be around. I'm not desperate for someone right now, but I'd really like someone. Like, it would be so nice. You know what I mean? To like someone who likes you back. That's wonderful. I mean, to ratchet it up, to love someone who loves you back, holy, that's amazing. And I've been fantasizing this morning about just talking to him and sort of saying something to the effect of like, you get what's going on, right? Like, you know what her deal is. Sort of laying out what the situation is. I think about that a lot. Just kind of confronting him and being like, do you get what's going on here? Do you truly think you're special? I mean, I truly thought I was special, and we got married and everything else. You think you're more special because she dropped a marriage for you? She's gonna do it again. You're not special. You're novel, but you're not special. I'd like to tell him that. But why? Do I want to help him? No. He's done the shitty thing of willingly getting together with a married woman. You made that bed. Do I hope that telling him that would undermine his confidence? Yeah, I do. It would ultimately probably make me feel crappy because I'm not a mean person, but in the fantasy realm, I would love to do that. My confidence has been shot to shit. I think I'm better than tit for tat, but why does he get to walk up the barn aisle like he owns the place? Why does he appear to be winning? I'd like her to feel anything like what I've gone through, but she was the architect of it all, so she's not gonna suffer like I've suffered. She says the words like she understands, but she doesn't. Not at all. All right, bar method. I'll see you in a bit. All in all, I'm glad I did that. When I was happily married, I really appreciated every day how happy I was and how good it was. Yeah, I put work into that, to just being mindful and thinking like, this is great. I am so happy. I am so lucky. I don't know how I got such an amazing life. I probably slipped into thinking I'm a good person and I try really hard and this amazing life is, but more or less like I'm a good person and I don't do anything wrong and I try hard. So this is what you get if you work really hard and you're a good person. You get a good life and you're happy and content and excited for the future. I don't think that's a stretch to think that. But the trick is, I'm still me. I haven't changed at all to the negative. But to have everything get taken away when you're still that same person, like the justification you used for your happy life doesn't work anymore. Previously, like, I'm a good person, I have a good life. You know, there's balance there. But now it's, I'm a good person and I'm in so much pain all the time. There's no answer as to why. That just makes it harder to be like, wait, why? Because there is no justification. And since you're sort of polarized, since you relied so heavily on the justification that you're good and you have a good life, then if you have a bad life, it kind of makes you feel like, well, maybe you're bad. And I know I'm not bad. I'm not outwardly, like, I know I'm not bad. But deep down, when it gets dark out and you're alone with your thoughts, that's when you start to think like, am I a little bit? Like, are there bad things about me I didn't realize? Am I secretly needy or I don't know, any of those, pet fears that could ruin a really happy relationship? I don't think so, but they do creep in the brain a little bit. But I think about that just in terms of, when I'm trying to bolster myself. I have a pretty good sense of humor. I'm pretty funny, relatively in shape. I'm fun to be around. I will try anything. I'm athletic. I'm both predictable and unpredictable. I'm spontaneous. I'm creative. I come up with weird ideas and variations on themes. Like, there's a lot good. And I wonder if he's all of that plus more. And I know that's bad. I know it's bad to use your comparative brain and just think like, him versus me. Like, is he even better than this? But I guess that's part of my process. I don't know. I've had more of an opportunity to show my personality here, to be genuine with these people, and I'm grateful for that. I really like them. I really care very much about them, and I'm glad they've been so welcoming to me. In therapy we talked a bit about people like me and my tendency to help people. Like, I am a helper. I'm very good at anticipating the needs of other people and facilitating their situation. And I think that comes from somewhat of an empathetic core, but I'm really interested in logistics and how things get done. And I go to a concert, for instance, like if I go to a big concert, I love to watch the soundboard and the lighting board and watch how the guys at those terminals make the whole show happen. I think it's interesting to see the inner workings of things. For a couple of years, I was a glass blowing apprentice and then a glass blowing assistant. And my job was to help the main glass blower. My job was to help him make things. So he was making, like, let's say he was making a vase. He was making the big thing, but then my job was to prepare all the little parts and bits and pieces to add to the big thing he was making. So I had to look at him and know where he was in the process and know what the temperature of his glass was and know that in about 2.5 minutes he's gonna need, about this much blue prepared to this shape at this temperature so he can add it to the vase. I would start well enough ahead of time so when he was ready for the thing, I was ready to give it to him. I'm good at it. I worked for an architect and a designer. She would design things and draw them by hand, and I would draw them up in the computer. And she wasn't necessarily a great communicator. So the art to that became knowing her well enough to know, well, both like what she drew, what she meant by what she drew, but also if she didn't draw something or if she left a particular gap or space or what she meant by not telling me something. And I didn't always nail it. Like sometimes she'd be like, what the hell is this? No, she wouldn't use that kind of language. She was very nice. She would be like, why are you doing this? And I'd be like, I thought that was the right move. I like people. I like relating to people. I like building relationships. It's really gratifying. I like being liked by people, and I know everybody does, but we talked in therapy just about how that can, on some levels, be not dangerous, but a little self-destructive, that in the relationship I'm coming out of now, how my willing to help and fill in the gaps wasn't necessarily watching out for me at the same time, like it was to giving, but I never felt that way, and that's the trick. I was in love, invested, just in it, willing to do what it took to make the relationship good, or willing to make it better, willing to always improve. And I thought it was improving, I really did. I thought our communication got better and better, and I could read her and know what was going on in her brain. And by and large, that is true, except for this whole falling in love with someone else thing. And that's part of the puzzle. If that was indeed going on for months, and I didn't see that, it does feel embarrassing. Or she kept it amazingly masked, or it was a much more rapid onset. I don't exactly know. Therapy-wise, we were just talking about using this time alone to be better for me, which is weird, because my response to all that is just kind of disinterested. Like, I just don't really care. I care more when I'm in a situation with someone. I don't, for the most part, care what I eat. There's very little I care about, and that's not a depressed thing. It's just, it doesn't matter. So long as I'm not hungry, it doesn't matter what I eat. So if I get a craving for burritos, I'll get burritos because I have a craving. But if I don't, I'll make popcorn because after I eat popcorn, I won't be hungry. It really is that simple. But I know that's not true to me. That's not who I am. I like to cook. I like to eat. I love really good food. I love going to restaurants and trying new things, and I love the sort of like celebrity of chefs. I do. If I had infinity dollars, I would eat at all the best restaurants because that's what I care about. Like, in terms of collecting experiences, I would love to eat at all the best restaurants and try all the foods and the novel things, and that's what I really care about. But I don't right now. And that sucks. Like, that's how I know I'm kind of broken and how I'm not me. The things that I know I genuinely care about. Things I cared about in this relationship, in the relationship that came before that. Things that haven't altered because of who I'm dating or married to, I don't currently care about. And I think that's just a response to the heartache. So I'm wondering if at some point I'll be like, I want to go out for a good dinner. And it'll be like one of those breaking points where I'm like, hey, that sounded like me. I'm back to me and the things I care about. I'm wondering if that will be a switch flip or not, or if it'll just be a slow thing, or only after I start dating someone again will I sort of return to the elements that are me. It is 4:18 and I'm leaving the horse show again, and I think I'm gonna stop by the barn on my way out just to see what's happening, to see if he needs any help feeding the horses, or just, if I can honestly be at all useful. I texted with his ex yesterday. She said something about hearing that they're leaving or that they're moving. Does she know more than me? Or is this just about them moving to the Airbnb for the month while his house sells? Or I don't know. Nobody knows the story, and I think my wife sometimes delights in that secrecy, like, not telling anybody the whole story, so then it adds an air of mystery. And really right now the mystery is, when are you leaving? Can you please just go, like, leave. Let me figure out what my life looks like without you, without the threat of you dropping by. Let me rent a place, let me move, let me set it up, let me start the school year, let me make friends, or let me do things without the threat of you parking at the condo. God, I didn't even think about that. Like, I'm assuming she's going back to work. Will she start parking at the house again? Damn, I didn't even think of that. That's just been removed from my life for a while, and now it could very much pop back into my life. I think I'm a little lost today. I'm sort of adrift, and just right now I'm sort of floating. I don't know what to do, so I'm just kind of like pointing my arrow in the direction of something that seems better than other things. Like, going to the barn is better than going home. Nothing happens there, I'll kind of stand at the barn and kind of point around and be like, should I go to the ocean or should I go home? And then I will do that thing. I've been doing a lot of that lately, just guessing at what I should be doing. It will change when the school year starts. Then I have a lot more required things to do. But for now... Well, hi, I'm just leaving the barn and it is 8:35 at night. So this is definitely a day that didn't go as planned. This video will probably be short-lived because these roads are dark and you can't see my face at all. And I started talking to some of my other barn friends and it was great. And we talked about travel and safaris and trips they've been on. And we talked about this ranch they're going to in Colorado that's incredible. And then we talked about other ranches and I talked about the trip to Chile where we rode. And it was just fun and it just went on. And then one of my friends who's, over 21 was like, I have a bottle of champagne. So we popped a bottle of champagne and ate popcorn and just talked about things. And they asked me questions about me and my life and the situation. And it was nice. And I shared a lot. And maybe I shared too much. I don't know. But it was nice to feel loved and cared about. I needed that today. And I'm so grateful for them. They told me that all of his horses are coming back to my barn and that he'll be training at my barn again, which I think is really interesting. So I don't know what that means exactly. I intend to find out more. It also annoys me and upsets me because it would have been nice if they had told me, if my wife had had the courage or respect to let me know that my future holds more of her annoying-ass boyfriend in my face at the place that I hold sacred. But no, I wasn't worthy of that kind of treatment. And I'm sure she feels justified because I didn't return her texts. But that's bullshit. The same kind of emails that relate to me, how much she, appreciates me and loves me and regrets causing me pain, could also convey something such as, hey, my boyfriend's moving his horses to your barn and will be around a lot more. I'm sorry this is inconvenient, but this is only temporary until we move to Northern California. But I haven't received any of that. And that makes me pretty angry and hurt. Yeah, I feel really disrespected by her. But it was a great conversation. We just sat around in the barn aisle and talked. We talked as the sun got low in the sky. We talked as the sun set. We talked as the sun went away and the sky got dark and the stars came out. And I felt cared for by people. People who think I'm handling this process with grace and dignity and I'm a good man. And that means a lot, to feel loved and cared for by these people. These are people that I've spoken to before and we've had good conversations. And this was another good one. And I'm driving home with a heart that feels pretty full.